This week I'm working in a house that's getting pretty much a rehab. So it's ideal conditions for me to come in here and work because I don't have to work around furniture or anything like that. But in this room, in a lot of the rooms in this house, I'm removing these old popcorn ceilings. So like I said, this is in ideal conditions. I don't have to cover the floors or anything. But what I do is I sand the popcorn off and suck it into a vacuum. I've heard of people in the past who talk about spraying a little moisture on it and then it's easy to scrape off. What happens there is you get all this gooky, wet texture all over the floors and you end up walking through it the whole time. So I find that the best way, even if this room were fully furnished, would be to sand this texture off and actually suck it up into my vacuum. What I'm going to be sanding with is a Festool orbital sander that's actually made for sanding drywall. It works great on the popcorn ceilings. You got to start out with a pretty coarse sandpaper. I'm using a 40 grit. Sometimes this would be a little too coarse because what I've noticed occasionally is the popcorn ceiling had not been primed or painted prior to applying the popcorn. So if you use too coarse of a sandpaper with that, you can actually tear up the paper. But I've already tested this ceiling. I'm pretty sure it's been primed. So I'm going with a 40 grit, and then I'll gradually work to a finer grit to get all the dust right off of it. You can see the sander really did a nice job removing the texture and containing the dust. I stuck with the 40 grit paper because it had been painted and I was able to really remove almost all the texture. And what's nice about the sander is not only is it removing the texture, but it's sucking the dust off the ceiling too. So it's really a pretty dust-free surface right now. I'm actually going to repair these cracks and do some refastening. And then I'm going to actually roll joint compound on this ceiling to apply a nice skim finish coat over the ceiling before I'm done. The key thing here was I was quite easily able to remove all that popcorn.